Welcome to Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Garry.
And you better be
pouring.
You want to make that a song?
Yes.
What are you pouring?
A Cab Sav.
Big shock, right?
Yes.
We're big Cab Sav people.
Yes, we are.
It is summertime. Well, summer's almost over.
Yeah, I mean.
We are finally getting to the end of this hot
finally.
summer. We got some relief this week. Whew, it's been nice.
I know, it's kind of chilly.
It's been the low temperature of 80, which we'll take, and no humidity. So
Man.
Such a nice break.
Yes, it is.
So today we're going to be reviewing Double Scoop that aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, and is streaming right now on Hallmark Plus.
Yes, it is. And we would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can also leave us a review, and hopefully it's a positive one.
It would be really great. You know, we know everyone's busy. If you're enjoying our podcast, if you have time and you can leave us a review, we'd really appreciate it.
Yes, and we would read it.
And we would read it, maybe on the air, as long as it was nice.
Correct.
Yes.
You can also find us on YouTube and all social media.
All of the socials. And you can send us an email at pourthewine@gmail.com. So send us your thoughts about Double Scoop or maybe things you've watched this summer, anything Hallmark. We are also doing Tinsel Tuesdays where we're dropping holiday movie reviews. So you can shoot us an email about those. Anything really. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
Yes, we would.
So, you want to tell us who might be in this one?
Maybe.
While you're doing that, I am going to take a sip.
Take a sip. Taylor Cole plays Nora. She's a fan favorite, of course. Taylor's been in many Hallmark productions, like A Reason for the Season, Aloha Heart, Pumpkin Everything, Unlocking Christmas, and a few Ruby Herring mysteries, just to name a few. Some of her other work includes Firstborn, 6 episodes of the series Salvation. On the CW, she was in 11 episodes of The Originals and 2 episodes of Supernatural. She was also in 11 episodes of CSI Miami.
Ooh.
And the movie The Green Hornet.
Oh, the Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet, yep. Ryan McPartlin plays James. For Hallmark, he was in last year's A Very Vermont Christmas and 2014's Chance at Romance. What am I doing?
You haven't had a sip of wine yet, so I'm not sure what you're doing.
Maybe I need to take a sip to even out a little bit.
Well, here you go.
Some of his, thank you. Some of his other work includes an episode of Why Women Kill. Oh, we really like that series. That was a good series.
A good one.
8 episodes of Devious Maids. Yeah. Another series that we loved. Lifetime's The Flight Before Christmas. He was in 88 episodes of the TV series Chuck. It was a very popular series, but we didn't watch that one. Did you ever watch it? No. And he was Hank Bennett for 388 episodes on the NBC soap opera. I don't even know how many soap operas are still on.
Me either.
Anymore. I was an ABC soap opera girl, so.
I was at General Hospital.
That's ABC.
My mom.
Oh, your mom. Oh, yeah, sure. Like you weren't watching it.
I know. Luke and Laura.
Elisa Donovan plays Alexandra. For Hallmark, she was in Eve's Christmas. Some of her other work includes 2 episodes of NCIS. She played the title character for 30 episodes in Gale We Trust.
Okay.
She was in 55 episodes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Ooh, Sabrina.
She was also in 62 episodes of Clueless. And of course, she was in the movie Clueless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she
awesome.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Patrick Muldoon plays Everett. Unless I missed something, I didn't see any other Hallmark productions. Now, he's been around for a hot minute. He has nearly 100 acting credits. In the past, he was in Murder at Hollow Creek, Magic in Mount Holly, A Christmas Reunion. He is probably best known as his portrayal as Richard Hart on Melrose Place for 35 episodes and as Austin Reed for 496 episodes on the soap opera Days of Our Lives.
Oh, wow.
That's another NBC soap opera.
Goodness.
What other Hallmark star is on Days of Our Lives? I know that one's still on, actually.
I do not know.
Allison Sweeney.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
I do know.
Shonda Pierce plays Anne-Marie Darlington. She has 10 acting credits. For Hallmark, she was in the movie Christmas Land. A few of her other works include Roll With It, 12 Wishes of Christmas, and A Valentine's Date.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Tim Abel, I'm not really sure. It's probably Abel, Abell. He plays Matthew Darlington. I didn't see any other Hallmark work for him, but his first acting credit goes back to 1990. So I might have missed one, but he has over 100 acting credits. He was in one episode of the series Countdown, the TV movie Middleton Christmas, one episode of Criminal Minds and CSI Miami. He was in the movie We Were Soldiers, and he was in an episode of Jag. Jag is coming up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Julie Haught plays Violet. She's the bed and breakfast owner, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This is her Hallmark premiere. Her other acting gigs include Neighborhood Watch, one episode of Queen Sugar, and Murder by Numbers, and she was in an episode of the series Nashville. Sophia Shakarian plays Josie. This is her Hallmark premiere. She's the granddaughter, right?
Yes.
She has one acting credit, The Duke's Masked Bride.
Oh, wow.
Oh. And Jacqueline Coyer plays Shannon. For Hallmark, she was in Love, Fallen Order. Some of her other work includes Fit for Christmas, The Engagement Plot, one episode of The Deuce, and 3 episodes of This Is My Roommate.
Oh, man.
There you go.
All right. That's awesome. Well, did you know Double Scoop was directed by Peter Sullivan?
I did not.
Yeah. For Hallmark, he's directed several movies. A Cozy Christmas Inn, Sharing Christmas. Who doesn't love to share Christmas? Broadcasting Christmas. My Summer Prince, which Taylor Cole was in.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
And some of his other directorial work includes Love Accidentally, which was on Prime.
Oh,
did you know
Prime?
that?
No.
Me either.
I don't think we saw that one.
Lifetime's The Christmas Edition, Jingle Bell, and My Christmas Inn. And you better watch out.
My Christmas Inn as in INN.
Yes.
I was waiting for the final word on that. Like My Christmas in Switzerland, in the United States,
Barcelona,
in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Where this takes place.
And Double Scoop was written by Cara J. Russell. And she wrote the Hallmark movies A Valentine's Match, A Secret Summer. And some of her other work she's written includes several of The Great American Family, like Grounded in Love, A Royal Date for Christmas, and A Fall into Winter. I want to fall into winter. She also wrote the Night Before Christmas that aired on Netflix.
Cool.
And that's it.
Should I drop the synopsis?
I think you should drop it.
Go for the synopsis.
Yes.
Nora and James were once the dream team at a top New York agency, but now they're locked in a frosty competition for the sweetest client of all, a small town dairy farm that churns out the most delectable ice cream in the country.
It did look delicious.
It did. Oh, and we love ice cream around here. That is for sure.
Yeah, we do. But before we get started, we just want to let you know we do drop some spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie yet, please go and watch it. Come back, listen to our podcast, and guess what?
What?
Drop us an email. Let us know how we did.
Yeah,
or write
there you
us
go.
a review.
Yeah, definitely go watch this one and then come back. We don't want to give anything away, but we probably will.
Yes, we will.
We don't want to accidentally spoil anything, so this is your alert.
This is your one
to pause,
time.
go watch and push play, then come back and push play.
So, what did you think?
What did I think? Wow, you're in like a singing mood tonight, huh? Okay.
It's like raining. I'm singing.
And we also, I have to say, if you hear like a background noise, our puppy is chewing on a toy.
She is chewy chomping on a...
She can't settle right now, and so there might be a little background noise.
And we apologize.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about this movie. don't know that my expectations were super high. I mean, I thought it would be cute, but just wasn't sure how much I'd like it. I really wasn't. I wasn't sure. I love Taylor Cole, so I was like, I don't know, am I going to like it? But I actually just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. It's such a great summer film. It really, really is, and not just because it has to do with ice cream, which we love, but it's really, really good.
It is.
And the banter is good. The chemistry is great between, Taylor and Ryan. Taylor's best friend, played by Jacqueline,
Shannon.
Yeah, Nora's best friend, Shannon. Yeah. Taylor plays Nora. Nora's best friend, Shannon. Their relationship is great. Although, Shannon isn't in the whole thing, but she's in it enough. She pops in. I just like that little sprinkle of the best friend. Right. I like that it's in the country. So I just really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we always watch things. We try to watch things twice. We watch it once to just enjoy it. And then the second time we take notes. But honestly, the second time I just wanted to enjoy it again.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't, of course I did take notes, but I just wanted to watch it because it was just, the flow was great. I just really thought it was a great summer film.
See,
what about you?
I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't sure how this movie was going to play out.
Yeah.
I didn't have high hopes for it. But as soon as we watched it, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was funnier than I thought it was going to be.
It wasn't cheesy.
Even though it was supposed to take place in Wisconsin.
Like the special effects, which we'll talk about.
Well, there was one. Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, I love the banter, the supporting cast, the small town vibe.
Yes.
You had your diner, you had your hardware store, then you had the dairy farm.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. Samers. And the movie takes place in New York City and Wisconsin, but it was filmed in and around Birmingham, Alabama.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what are some favorite scenes that you had? What would you say are some favorite scenes? And I will say, before we started, I saw you taking a few notes and I was like, you can't make everything your favorite scene.
I know. You're right.
We don't discuss it, but I saw you writing it. I was like, hey, you're kind of...
I guess.
Although I guess you can technically if you want to.
Yeah. Let's see. My favorite scene... One of them would be when James and Nora bump into each other.
In New York City.
On the sidewalk. Nora's carrying the ice cream which has to do with this particular movie. And she drops it all on the ground, right?
Hence the double scoop, right?
And it's kind of funny because you would think some of the lids would come off, but they didn't.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I guess.
And anyways, James, he doesn't know it's Nora. Nora doesn't know it's James. And as they're picking him up, they look up at each other and they're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So James, he works at the H company, which Nora used to work at.
Right.
But she left with Alexandra to start another company, the advertising company. And so they're kind of rivals now.
Right.
And
although they don't hate each other. They're just at rival
companies.
Advertising companies.
And so James asks Nora, what's up with all the ice cream? And she just makes up an excuse and says, we're having a party, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so as Nora starts to walk away, James looks down and finds another pint of ice cream. He picks it up, and this passerby, he tells him, "Oh, that's the greatest ice cream in the world."
Yeah.
So the thing is H company, Everett told James he needs to bring in a national company.
Right.
And so this is his way of bringing in a national company.
Because he's trying to become VP.
He's trying to become VP.
He's trying to become VPs in competition with Lavery, right?
Right.
Another coworker. And so, so he views this as an opportunity to bring in a company that is going to go nationwide.
Right. And Nora has the same idea.
Right. Only she doesn't let him know that. But and to be fair, though, he doesn't know that about her.
Right.
He literally just thinks she's bringing it for a party.
Yep.
Right. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute. This is the best ice cream in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was that kind of sets the stage really for the fact that the two of them show up at the same place
Yes.
at the same time.
So what was one of yours?
Mine was, after they're at the farm that you just talked about, they go to talk to the family. It's the Darlington family. And they go to the farm, and I just love the shot of the cows on the farm. I don't know.
It was so cool.
The way they pan the cows was just a little bit funny to me, and a little. I just thought it was so cool to do it that way.
Yes.
So anyway, that was just one scene. Okay, so then that leads into the two of them meeting at the farm. Now they are both staying at the same bed and breakfast, but
Right.
they don't know it yet. They just miss each other.
Correct.
So they end after the panning of the cows on the farm. And the two of them end up showing up at the farm, and they're both like, "Why are you here?" To each other, because she doesn't understand why he's there, and he doesn't understand, why she's there, and they each have a meeting with the Darlingtons to do a pitch, or so they think. Right. To meet with them. And then they go inside and they meet the Darlingtons, and then we go on from there. But I just like that first meet there where they're like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? What's going on?" And then they walk up to the porch, so. And she's a little bit annoyed, and he doesn't know why she's annoyed, because he didn't know she was going to be there. So and their faces are fun in that moment. So that was another favorite scene. So the cows leading into that was my first favorite scene. What about you? Have another one?
Yeah, well, I liked when in that same particular scene when they actually went in the house, Matthew Darlington, he says, "Hey, this is my granddaughter Josie. She's here for summer, whatever." And he says she loves to tell jokes.
Yes.
So throughout the movie, she tells these cow jokes. And when they first meet, Josie says, "Why are cows such good dancers?" And James goes, "I don't know." And she says, "Because they have all the moves."
It was cute how they kind of put her in there, and
Right.
she had all these jokes.
Yes.
And then I think that's when Matthew's like, she knows all of them. She knows every joke. You can't stump her, basically,
Right.
with a cow joke.
Right.
And then, so they meet the Darlingtons, and then they end up staying for dinner, and basically they're like, they're small towners. They want they want the ad agency to feel that way to them.
Right.
Like they're from a small, even if they're not,
Right.
then they want that feel. And then so that leads into another scene where James kind of razzes Nora because she doesn't really like sweets. And of course she's trying to get this ice cream account. She's not a huge sweet person, but they of course get served sundaes at the end of dinner. And, and he's kind of like, it was brown butter ice cream with smoked maple caramel. That sounds good.
Delicious.
Some of the flavors they had on there,
know.
I was like, it was hard to watch it and not eat. I mean, we were drinking wine, of course, but
Exactly.
what wine goes best with brown butter ice cream and smoked maple caramel? Any of them? I don't know. So, and then the Darlingtons are kind of like, no business talk, just enjoy the ice cream. And then James is like, I thought you didn't like sweets. And Nora's like, you heard the lady, flakes of sea salt, because Matthew's wife, Anne Marie, had said, "Oh, I do this and I sprinkled it with sea salt or whatever." So
What'd she say? Pecans?
Pecans, yeah. So I thought that scene was just really cute. So you kind of get an idea of what their relationship is going to be like. It's, they don't hate each other, but they have like this banter that really works.
Yes.
And so the writing is good. And that's another scene. What about you?
Well, to play off that scene,
Yes.
as they're leaving the house and the Darlingtons see them out, Nora and James are standing on the porch and they start their little banter thing again, and they start to make up these rules.
Yes.
These ground rules.
Yes.
And what did they have? Like they made up like 4 rules?
They made up 4 rules in that moment, and more come later, right?
So the first one was no deliberate sabotage.
Right.
Rule 2 was maintain professionalism. 3 was no scarfing down ice cream.
And James, I love that scene because Jane goes, "What kind of rule is that?"
Right.
And he said, "You just ate an entire sundae." And she says, "And now I feel ill." And then she goes, and that's true, man. Your eyes can be bigger than your stomach. And you're like, "Oh, it's so good going down." And then, but that's the quick banter that they had. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And
rule
then
number 4.
the 4th rule was both present their pitch and let the Darlingtons choose.
Yeah. Best ad wins.
Yes.
Period. Right.
And then you had noticed something on that scene.
Right. So when we first watched it, before we were taking notes and everything, I was going to say that as one of my favorite scenes. That might even be my favorite scene when it was on the Hallmark Channel.
Right.
Because while they're outside talking and they're doing this banter, there are just the lovely sounds of summer, right? You have crickets. I guess it would be crickets, right? Out there. I love that sound. It's summertime. It reminds me of being a kid, and I have farm history, sort of, not dairy, but, growing up, I was city girl, but I also had family in the country, and, my grandmother lived in the country, and we would go to her, farm, and she had a barn that my grandpa had built. It was like this whole, so when you're out there, I mean, it just really is, it's quiet except for the crickets. And I just loved that you could hear the sounds of summer in that scene. So I just really loved that. And then when we rewatched it on Hallmark Plus, and this is not a dig or anything about Hallmark Plus, but you couldn't hear it.
Right.
You couldn't hear the crickets. And I only noticed it because I was going to make a note of that scene with the crickets. And it lost a little bit. And then it just sort of sounded like the sound was different.
It did.
And you didn't really notice it because that was, you weren't honed in on that part of it. You were honed in on the rules part of that scene, but not that the cricket sound. And it just, to me, it kind of lost a little something. And I don't know if that happens when it goes to Hallmark Plus. I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not really sure, if that has to do with like surround sound or stereo. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, but you
could tell the difference.
You could tell the difference. And I hadn't really noticed that before in other movies that we've watched or series. So, anyway, so that was about that scene.
Did you have any?
Yeah, I had a few other. So, Nora, her first morning when she wakes up, she goes down in the bed and breakfast, and there are other people already having breakfast when she gets downstairs or whatever, and she goes to the table, and it's like people from the town. It's like the mayor. Folk. It's what the herdsman is there. The diner owner is there. And like I said, the herdsman's wife runs the general store and is a mechanic. So they're all at the table and they're all talking and stuff. But James didn't go there or didn't go there or didn't come down for breakfast. Well, he was gone already in the morning when they were having breakfast. So when Nora goes to leave, she runs into James. He's walking back. And she's like, "Where were you?" And he said, "Well, I tried to have breakfast at the diner, but it was closed." And, because the owner of the diner is having breakfast. I thought that was so cute and
at the
fun.
B&B,
yeah, at the bed and breakfast. And and you know what that reminded me of was when he's like, "But the diner was closed." And she's like, "Well, he was here. The owner was here." And it reminded me of My Cousin Vinny, where Vinny gets in trouble all the time with the judge, and they're in a small town in the South, and he goes to buy his suit and the store is closed for the flu or something, and he's like, the entire store is closed because of the flu. And that's what it reminded me of, like, well, funny. The owner's not there. Breakfast isn't served yet. Yep. He's having breakfast somewhere else. So I thought that was really cool. And then James is like, was the whole town at breakfast? Like, who was there? So I just thought that was funny.
It was funny. And when they met each other, when Nora left the B&B and James was walking down the street from the diner and they see each other, James is like, "Man, I couldn't sleep last night. Did you hear the hear the roosters?" And he says, "I can't sleep. I prefer the garbage trucks in New York City."
That's right. He does.
You're right. And I thought that was funny. And then Nora's car wouldn't start. So James offered a ride, to give her a ride to Darlington's. And she was like, "Okay, what's up?" And he said, "Rule number 2, maintain professionalism."
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was funny.
And isn't that when she says something about the mechanic?
Yes.
The mechanic. No, or the mechanic just left, and he was. That's I think when he says, "Was the whole town at breakfast?"
Right. Yeah. You're right.
It was really cute. Yeah. Yep.
So now they show up at the Darlingtons' home, and they were there to do their pitch.
Right. And they were going to talk business with them, right? Yeah, the next day.
So Anne-Marie, she shows them around the farm. And when they get to the barn where Matthew is, he tells them, "I'm sorry, I can't hear your pitches today because the farmhand threw his back out.
Right.
So,
right.
And
Isn't that Nora's like, he was just at breakfast. So that's
yes,
another time she's
right. And that's when I think James says again,
did I miss everybody?
Did I miss everybody?
Did I just miss everybody? That was a funny running joke. I'm sorry.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
and they were talking about ice cream, and then Nora goes, "Okay, you broke rule number 3, no scarfing down ice cream." So they make 2 more rules, the 5th and the 6th, no complaining and no shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was another one of my favorite.
Now they're up to
James.
number 6.
Yeah. So they have 6 rules now.
So another one of my, can we just talk about cheese curds for breakfast?
Ooh.
So this will be the next more. So they work on the farm all day.
Right.
They help out. And then this is becoming a recap. We don't mean to, but we loved it so much. But anyway, they had cheese curds for breakfast.
Yes.
I'm not sure that would be on my menu, but I do like cheese anytime. What's a cheese curd? Do you even know?
I think it's just clunks of cheese.
I mean, I guess if you're in Wisconsin, you just go with it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anywho, another favorite scene of mine is, I guess it's nighttime at the bed and breakfast.
Right.
And James and Nora are outside talking, and he's asking her how it is to work with Alexandra, and she says she doesn't miss the cutthroat part at all. You know, she doesn't miss the competition of it, the cutthroat part. And, you know, he kind of says he admires her for going off with Alexandra, which she thought he hated her for it and was jealous because he didn't get to go.
Right.
And now she realizes. And then he talks about his dad and how his dad worked at the same job for 40 years and never became management, but he kept going for his family, for the job. And I was thinking in that moment, you know, and we've talked about this, people don't stay in the same jobs for decades and decades like they used to. You know, I mean, my dad worked in the steel mill his entire career, and he, you know, was management at the end. But people just don't. I mean, I think about how many jobs I've had in my lifetime. I mean, you always want to stick with one. I mean, yeah, if you're a lawyer or a doctor, you know, you're doing the same thing, but you probably aren't with the same company that you started with. It's just the nature of how things are, as opposed to like our parents that did stay. You got a job and that's where you worked. You saved your money and that's what you did. And, you know. Yeah,
you're right. Because my mom, she worked, you know, multiple jobs, but those multiple jobs, she worked for a long time.
Right. She may have had a few, but they were long. Right.
And now it doesn't seem like kids nowadays even want to stay more than 3, 4, or 5 years.
Right. Before they're ready to move on.
And they want to go from ground zero to CEO in like a year or
overnight. Two. Right.
But in that same scene, it's funny because James looks at Nora and she's kind of like, what? And he's like, don't move. Don't move.
Now, when you tell me that, what am I going to say?
Get it off.
Exactly what Nora said. Get it off me right now. Get it off. Get it off. And she was so great in that moment.
She was. And I was just thinking the exact same thing, because you are not a bug person.
No, well, to be fair, though, you have that face that's like, you don't panic, but you are like, I know instantly when you're like, oh, this is not going to go good if I have to tell her she has a bug in her hair, because that's what I was thinking of. And I love Taylor Cole in that moment. And he was so good too, because he's like, no, don't move. He was so calm and like, don't move.
She kept saying,
and
get it off,
it was so, that scene was so good. We go ahead.
But then he grabs the bug. And she's like, what is it? And he opens his palm and it's a lightning bug.
Right.
And then they both look around and there's like thousands of lightning bugs. Yeah. And I turn to you and I go, oh, Hallmark's got a new special effect. Instead of rain or snow, it's lightning bugs.
But it actually looked pretty cool.
It did. It looked really good.
I liked it. Yes. I thought it was pretty cool. I wasn't like, oh, that's just cheesy. I didn't feel that way in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought it. And then we don't have lightning bugs
out here, no.
Where we live. And we live we don't live in the country. I mean, we live in like a suburban country. We're like country adjacent, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
We're kind of out there and I don't see them. I mean, even when we were living in more suburbia, we didn't really see them
Right.
in other areas close to us. So I don't know if they still exist out in
Who
farmland.
knows?
Like when I was growing up, they were everywhere. They weren't quite as abundant as they were in the movie, but we always caught the lightning bugs and then let them go, and it was so cool. And some people call them fireflies. I always call them lightning bugs. What did you call them?
Lightning bugs.
Lightning bugs, yeah. So, but I loved that scene.
Yeah, it was a good
down,
scene.
No question. Yep. So, did you have any others?
There was, I think there was one more where, so the whole idea is to do these pitches to the Darlingtons.
Right.
And the Darlingtons just want, a company that's going to, cater to their needs and their wants and stuff. And you can have that family feel.
Yes.
And so Nora, she calls Shannon to get some idea, to tell her about James. She thinks James is a good guy.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, James had met with the mayor because he overheard her talking about the farmers, the feed for their stocks is going up. The prices are too high for the farmers to pay for. And he's like, oh, well, the H company does charity.
Well, she was trying to get a bill passed that would subsidize the farmers. She was hoping that was going to go through. And then he finds out it doesn't.
Right. Well, actually, this is probably a jeer for me.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. Are you going on? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying.
No, that's fine. It's actually a jeer because I felt like he went behind Nora's back and used this as a bribe.
But it's a jeer because you didn't like what he did.
I didn't like it.
Because it's not.
Did you have any more?
No, I didn't mean to
go
ahead with what you were saying.
No, that was basically it. I was just going to say, like you said, the mayor was trying to pass a bill to help out the farmers to subsidize the feed prices, but the council, they turned it
down. Right.
So that's when James...
steps in
and says, hey, we do charity once a year for a company and we would love to do this. But he had to get the okay from Everett and H company.
Yep.
So.
Well, and that's, I think, and we had two more rules then.
Yes.
And there was some banter between he and Nora, which I don't have the exact, what they were bantering about, but like rule number 7 was no facts.
Right.
And rule number 8 was no pitching until the designated time.
Right.
So I thought
8 rules.
Yeah. 8 rules. I think, is that all we ended up with? Yes. I think there were 8 total.
8 total
we got them for their rules for each other. And I mean, the other scene that I really liked was when Nora is talking to Matthew. They do have an ice cream festival and it's just Nora and Matthew. And she's like, did you really know, you wanted to marry Anna Marie, like when you were in kindergarten? And he's like, yeah, from the moment I met her, I knew I would always want to sit beside this girl, and I always have. And I thought, that's so sweet.
That's one of my cheers.
And then he said to her, to Nora, if you want someone to sit beside you, make sure the seat is open and make sure they know you want them there. I was like,
that was
words of wisdom right there. Were so good. So good.
Farmer Matthew, he had the words,
It was so good. Yep.
It was good. That was one of my cheers.
Yep.
So do you have any more?
No, that was it for scenes.
Okay.
All right. So
what about cheers?
Cheers.
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 Well, that was one of mine.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that was such a good.
It was.
It's a favorite scene and a cheer, right? That moment. I liked how one of my big cheers was that Nora and James didn't hate each other.
Right.
Like they didn't make them these they weren't enemies when they first met.
And they weren't sabotaging each other.
No, they just had the friendly banter, the competition, the healthy competition with one another. They made these rules and they started to get along and talk more and they realized where each one was coming from. So I really liked that.
Yeah. That was good.
Did you have any other cheers?
My last one was, so they do their pitches, not at the same time, but the same morning to the Darlingtons. James does his first. He's got this nice fancy laptop. He does this PowerPoint play, whatever you call it.
PowerPoint.
And then presentation. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And then Nora comes in and she just has these like, what did you used to use in school, the boards? I can't think of the
Like
word.
a poster board?
Poster board, yes. So she had poster
But
boards.
they were,
right.
yeah.
They were,
I mean, they
to
weren't
me,
like markered up.
right. To me, it was more.
That's old ad agency,
Right,
reminds me of.
right.
Yeah.
And she came up with a good idea that each pint of ice cream would have.
that was.
But unfortunately, her company doesn't win. James' company wins.
Right.
Nora congratulates them and leaves.
Right.
But you later find out that Everett, who runs H, called the Darlingtons, said some bad things about Alexandra and her company. That's why the Darlingtons went with them.
And gave them like a bonus or something.
And gave them a bonus, a signing bonus.
A signing bonus, yeah.
And then James found out, he quit, called the Darlingtons, and then Alexandra got the call from them. And then she told Nora, and all was well.
So your cheer
So my cheer was that James actually he didn't like what went down.
He did the right thing.
He did the right thing, right.
When he found out that Everett had
cheated,
gone behind his back. Well, that would make me feel bad too, because he thought he won it on his merits.
Right.
Right. And he didn't, because he finds out Everett had actually called them.
Yeah.
And it was kind of good that he did, quit. And then the Darlingtons decided they wanted him, not the agency.
Right.
And they went with him, and he went to Alexandra's company.
Right.
Which they've
she hired.
But yeah.
So what about you?
I loved how Nora has a BFF that she, bounces things off of throughout the whole movie. And every time we see her, she's got ice cream in her hands, which was really funny, because she's pregnant, and it kind of goes along with the pregnancy thing. And she just could, I think Shannon even says she could eat ice cream for every meal or whatever. I don't know. She's so she likes all the flavors, and she's given her good advice, and just light and bubbly and fun, and it was just a really cute role too. Yeah. I just really I
she's putting
that.
Like a baby thing together while she's talking to her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. She is. Yeah. And then I really liked, just the overall story of, don't stay where you hate it. Because Nora, she didn't like the high pressure, the backstabbing, and all of that. And what do they say? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
Right. And that's so really true. And she took a risk and left, and followed. And you see, and I really liked that Alexandra was nice, boss,
she was
kind. She wasn't condescending.
Yep.
She didn't, she did what she had to do, but wasn't underhanded. And, we're going to win things the right way. And, so I appreciated that, especially for a female boss. Right. You don't see that often portrayed. And I really appreciated that, and then the farming couple, they're just great.
Yeah.
Matthew and Anne Marie as a couple, they've been married for 50 years. They've been together since elementary school. And the actress who played Anne Marie only have like 10 acting credits. I really liked her in it. They were so like down to earth, and their chemistry was, I thought it really, really worked.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah. But did you have any jeers?
Just the one.
Just the one that you mentioned earlier, which
was when Everett went behind James's back. And then James doing the charity thing.
Oh, right.
Nora's back.
Right.
Those
behind Nora's back. Right.
Jeers.
I only had the H company. What did that even mean?
I have no idea.
My jeer would be I didn't like the name of the company, but that's not even, that's just a personal thing. I'm like, H company. Did I miss that?
No.
I wasn't sure if I missed that or not. But all right. So
how many scoops would you give it?
How many scoops out of 5? We don't do double scoops.
Out of 5. That's right. No double scoops.
No double scoops. We do 5 scoops here. I would give it like a 4.5.
Yeah, that's what I was.
What would you give it?
I was looking between a
4 and a half
4.5
scoops. Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me too.
And I actually even enjoyed it better the second time.
I know. It was so good, except minus the crickets, but it was fine. Yeah, no, it's really, really enjoyable. I would, highly recommend.
So, is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right. If you really, really like the show, we would really, really appreciate your positive review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
Like really.
And if you didn't really, really like the show, we'd still appreciate your positive review.
Like really.
Really.
We would. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media so you don't miss a thing. Until next time.
Cheers.